Yeah, it does. That was a really, really good win for us. Before the game, we just talked about a D word, a discipline word for us, and just trying to be disciplined defensively and sticking to our game plan, disciplined and staying down and not trying to get up and block shots or have people shoot over us, disciplined and getting to the boards and trying to keep them off the boards. They really hurt us down at UCLA. And then again, down at the other end, disciplined offensively, just really trying to play on our terms, taking shots that we wanted to take, rather than allowing their pressure and their kind of intensity when they turn it up to force us into doing things that we aren't good at or we're not the best at. So I loved our defense, our discipline at both ends of the floor, and I loved our competitiveness. We really did not step back at any point in the game, and we were aggressive. And I think that's something that you see on the free throw line as well.
So a lot of possessions, particularly second half, went down pretty far in the shot clock. So was that sort of by design to some extent then?
Not probably as close as that than as so many times, and I think all of us as coaches are a little hoarse counting those 10 seconds down. However, I really like that with our team because I think they get frustrated by that in the sense that they want to get out and they want to run and they want to get into their hurry-up offense, and they're very, very good at that. So by holding the ball that long, I think we made some great plays and some great reads. One of them that comes to mind is Taylor just taking on Quinn here at the end of the shot clock and drawing that fourth foul and getting a couple free throws. And that was the kind of discipline her play there epitomized that. And then, with Tamika, I thought as a point guard tonight, she was outstanding just in terms of her reads, in terms of getting the ball to the right person, in terms of taking her shots when the opportunity counted. She was perfect from the line, 10 for 10. So just an outstanding game for her.
But she redeemed herself a little bit, sort of coming back off. Or did you have any questions?
Tamika and I, we watch film quite a bit because she's a young point guard and she's learning the game. And I really tip my hat to her because every time we sit down and watch film, she shakes her head. She knows when something didn't go right. She has questions. The scouting report has changed on her a lot this year from the beginning of the year where everybody was just in her face. And then all of a sudden, now you can't be in her face, she'll go by you and she'll score. Well, maybe you make her go this way. Well, now you can't do that because she'll go the other way. So it's a change for her. And I said to her, there's nothing lost here in terms of when you came out of Oregon State and it went in. And that was a good thing going. And she said, you're right, the team's important. So, but she did. She is learning, and you can see tonight that, boy, she stepped up against some pretty incredible defensive athletes. And I liked her poise as much as anything.
I think I only saw it once, but maybe he snuck another one, an instance or two in on me. But in the second half, he slipped a quick half-court trap in on them, and it seemed to disrupt them, their offense, and had them killing time away from the basket. Something that you think you might use more often?
Yeah, we've done a couple of things in practice, and we've used we kind of had that in our back pocket in terms of just looking at it and taking some time off. We used it against Oregon State, and I think it worked particularly well against them, taking some time off the clock. We used it against UCLA. And I think you're right. I think we will continue to use that. I think we have the personnel. The right personnel on the floor will help us run that. And so I think it does. It's something more that they have to scout and prepare for. And I really do think it changes the tempo a little bit, takes some time off the clock, particularly when you're trying to keep the ball out of Quinn's hands and Plummer's hands. So it's a good observation, and we will look to do that a little bit more.
Quinn never looked like he really got shot.
No, Noelle is just such a fantastic player that you have to be so disciplined in guarding her. Excuse me. And in LA, I think we just lost a little bit of that discipline. We changed a couple things in terms of guarding her, and we just asked our team, hey, stay down. She's got great fakes, but if you can stay down and just make her shoot over you, I think that her percentage will suffer from that. She still had, I think she still had 20 points or whatever, 16. She still is a significant player, but she took 17 shots to get that, and I think that's what I was saying at the beginning of the game in terms of just our discipline to make her shoot over us and go with those percentages.
2-game win streaks. How do you keep things rolling?
Well, I think we keep things rolling, and just in terms of what we've been doing in practice. We talked to our players tonight. Just enjoy this win. You deserve it. You just played very hard. You played smart. You played together. Got a little bit of a midnight rule for both wins and losses. Enjoy it tonight. Come back tomorrow afternoon ready to get USC, and we need some focus and concentration. And I think we just try to use the momentum. Remember remembering, the little things that we did so well to make big things happen in terms of the win. So that's where we go from here.
It's kind of chippy out there. Is that just frustration when you saw it?
Yeah, I think that's what discipline does. I think that when we're disciplined and we stay true to our scouting report, you don't give them any open looks. You're right in top of them. You don't back down. I think that kind of defense can be frustrating. It's not a lot of shot blocking. It's not a lot of athleticism. It's just trying to use our personnel with the strengths that we have defensively to stay in front of them. And I think that does get a little frustrating after a while. But I liked our poise tonight, and we just ran down to the other end, shot the free throws, kept that margin, and that's always good for the coach.
How's Taylor?
I think Taylor's okay. I haven't really talked to her. I spoke to her at halftime. She felt okay. I think she's, the first game back is going to be hard for her. She's not able to practice. She got half court yesterday. And for a player like her that really is a shooter and depends on rhythm, it's going to be a little harder. Conditioning's a little bit down just in terms of getting into the game. But she did a couple of really good things for us tonight, and if she can do that every game, she'll really help us.
The way the team's played the last 2 games, is that motivated, do you think, by what happened here against the Beavers?
Absolutely. I don't think you can talk about the OS game number 2 without talking about OSU number 1. And I think it's more than motivation. I think it's just a complete understanding that we actually have control of our destiny if we have discipline offensively. Because I think that's where we got hurt, obviously, here. I think that's where we got hurt against UCLA down there, is that we just started pinging up some threes a little bit too early. And we kind of got into that a little bit tonight, and then we started to go back inside and then back out. We were, 6 for 21, which is maybe a few too many. But they were open looks, so you can't really argue with that. But definitely that's in the back of our players' mind, and I think will be for a while. And I think they're using it in a way that you can only use, I think, a bad loss like that, and that's to learn from.